How OnlyFans ruined an entire generation.
OnlyFans has completely ruined an entire generation. Dog, when
True,
I tell you,
true.
nuclear bombs couldn't even do nearly as much damage as what OnlyFans did to our society. Where I knew OnlyFans was getting bad, when I seen people not even giving life a shot at the age of 18 and going straight to OnlyFans once the clock hit 12.
Yeah, and it's pretty insane that aspect of it. I definitely knew a lot of people who did OnlyFans, not only models, but people who managed girls on OnlyFans. And that's actually what had me try it for a little bit. I managed a few girls on OnlyFans, and to be honest, it was great money, but it was not worth it at all. It's very slimy business model, and you're basically scamming the fans who think they're chatting with the girl. So I wouldn't consider it worth it, and I'm curious to see if he highlights the scam aspect of it.
If you thought that Reddit, TikTok, 4chan, and Twitter did damage, just wait till you hear all the
Yeah.
damage that OnlyFans has done in this video. Now,
Hmm.
for the first damage that I think OnlyFans has done to society is that it's normalized a lot of weird behavior. We live in a
True.
time where people get their back blown out in front of a camera for thousands of people to see, but it's somehow okay because they make a lot of money. That
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing that everybody in the OF industry tries to make light of. They try to make it seem like, oh, well, I'm making more money than you, and you have to go work a job. And it kind of got popularized from Andrew Tate and a lot of his copycats who basically made fun of anybody making a regular wage because they manage girls on OF or because they're an OF girl. And it's pretty despicable, to be honest, because you're just scamming people. That's the whole business model, basically.
That is not normal, and that is not something that we should normalize slash celebrate. Look, I
Yeah.
understand that these OnlyFans girls be having Lambos, numerous penthouses, a few rollies, and more money than I could ever imagine, but at the
Hmm.
same time, they also have zero dignity if they can
True.
proudly brag about how their cheeks are getting clapped online for $4.99 a month. Why are we flexing our cheeks getting obliterated online? I just don't think that is just weird to me. Another thing
Yeah.
about Only
It's a morally depraved society. And what he was talking about with the normalizing weird behavior, everything about it is weird. The guys managing the girls who are doing this online for millions of people to see potentially, and the Johns are the weirdest. The simps are the weirdest ones. So I hope he highlights that because those are the real weirdos, man, who need to be exposed.
OnlyFans is that it completely normalized adult films, aka porn. Like I swear,
Yeah.
back then, being in
Well, I mean, to be honest, it was already normalized before, and I think what the appeal of OnlyFans is just you get to interact with who you're watching online. So millions of guys already watch porn online, but now they get to interact with the person that they're watching. So that's the appeal to it.
an adult film star used to be one of the most frowned upon jobs ever, but OnlyFans has made it
True.
completely acceptable. Like if somebody told you that they did OnlyFans, you genuinely wouldn't be surprised nowadays. But
Yeah.
back then, that would have been one of the most shocking things to ever hear. Another weird behavior that OnlyFans has kind of normalized is spawn camping young women until they turn 18. For example, y'all
Yeah, yeah.
remember when Danielle Bergoli
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, man. This is some weird ass shit for people to be waiting on this for a girl to turn 18 just to watch her online. And these simps don't get shamed. These simps don't get shamed. The Epstein people get shamed, rightfully so. Diddy, his whole crew with that gets shamed, rightfully so. But the simps who wait for a girl to turn 18 just to watch her on OF, they don't get shamed. They don't get shamed. And so, where's the line that we're going to draw? Because that's pretty creepy if we're following the same standard. It's pretty weird. And a lot of these guys are some old dudes who are just wishing they could be with the 18-year-old, so they have to watch her on OF to get that fantasy out. So it's very weird how we've normalized this as a society.
started an OnlyFans 1 week after she turned 18, and she made $1 million within just 6 hours of it releasing. That means that there were some grown adults out there that found Danielle Bergoli attractive as a young girl, but they wouldn't necessarily say that. So they chose their next best option, which was to wait for this young girl to turn 18. Now they can see her naked.
And you know what? Where's her father? Where's her father? That's the number one question that needs to be asked. Because she cashes in her chips the moment she's legally ready to. Cashes in her chips. And you know what? At the end of the day, most women in today's world would probably do it if they knew there was millions of dollars waiting for them. Because many women today don't have the self-respect that they should. But where's her father? Where's our male role model to show her the correct way, the righteous way? That's what I would be wondering immediately.
Like, the concept of that being legal is just absolutely strange to me. And whoever bought that OnlyFans once she turned 18 needs to be locked up ASAP no Rocky. Like, I just find that insane. Because there's no way that the demographic of these people buying Danielle Bergoli's OnlyFans were like maybe 18, 19, 20, 21. They had to be like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, maybe even some 30-year-olds in there. And we know damn well that a lot of these dudes that bought this OnlyFans didn't just randomly stumble across Danielle Bergoli the day that she turned 18. These dudes most definitely found her attractive as a young girl, and they
were watching for all those years on the Dr. Phil show all the way up. And this is spawning a whole new generation of women now who they get one little viral moment and then they cast their chips in, a la Haktua Girl, many of the other viral meme girls like this. And although it is morally depraved, what do you expect from a society that's lost its moral compass?
Spawn camped their way until she made this OnlyFans. Now they can see her naked legally and go ham on the meat. Like, that's crazy to me. That is absolutely insane. There's also numerous TikTok girls out there who have also made OnlyFans once they turned 18. And they made bans because of these weirdos also. Like, it's one of the weirdest things ever. And this shouldn't be something that's like normal, you know? And as I speak, there's probably some 16-year-old TikTok girl out there that plans to make an OnlyFans once she turns 18. And there's probably tons of creepy old men waiting for that day to happen, which it's disgusting to even think about, if I'm being real. I think the age of OnlyFans should be at least 21, but obviously that never changed because right now the age to sell adult content is 18 years old, and for OnlyFans to change their age, the whole law would have to change as a whole, and that's never gonna change. And since we're talking about weird behavior from OnlyFans, there's a lot of lies that goes on with just the business itself. Like, there's a lot of grown women on there lying about being 18 and 19 years old to sell more subscriptions, which is just absolutely insane. Even though those are legal ages, I still think it's weird to lie about your age to...
Yeah, well, the whole thing is a lie. The whole business model is lying to the fans, scamming the fans, selling them a dream, and it's really their fault. I mean, if there was a business model where somebody could make up chocolate bars, but they were really dirt, they sold dirt as a chocolate bar, and people kept buying it, and they thought it was delicious. Would you be mad that people kept doing it? Would you be mad that somebody kept making dirt chocolate bars and they were making millions of dollars off it? Yeah, it's scummy, but when there's demand, supply shall follow. And that's the sad truth, is the simps have created a massive amount of demand in this market.
More subs. For example, do y'all remember that one NPC TikTok girl, Pinky Doll?
Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. Gang gang.
So
this is the retardation of TikTok, man. I don't know how people be using TikTok like that, man. It's very strange.
She used to lie and say that she was 19 years old to sell more subs, when in reality she was 27. And this actually happens a ton on Twitter. You'll see mad girls talking about they're the hottest 18-year-old on OnlyFans. Whole time they're 47 with 6 kids. Like, it's insane. A girl could legit be 67 years old with the saggiest yitties of all time, but for some reason she's in every Twitter comment section talking about, I'm the hottest 18-year-old on OnlyFans. Yeah, you were the hottest girl 51 years ago, Sharon. Hang it up. Like I said, I think it's weird to just straight up lie about about your age to sell more subs, like, that's just disgusting. And even the old ass men out there that are buying these girls OnlyFans, they're also just as disgusting, if not even more disgusting. Now, another reason why I think that OnlyFans completely ruined society is because it made the internet even worse for women. Now, y'all are gonna call me a simp and white knight for this, but just hear me out before you run to the comment section talking about my forehead is big. Just wait 1 second. Just hear me out. The reason why I say that OnlyFans made the internet even worse for women is because it made dudes comfortable with telling random girls online that they don't even know to make OnlyFans accounts if they find them attractive. It's the weirdest thing ever. Like, if a
Yeah, you got to think about that. That's very true. Is pre-internet, when would you ever tell a random girl you don't even know you should be a porn star? You should make porn. You would never say that. Nor would a girl ever probably hear that in her life. Maybe once from some creepy dude. Not dozens of people. This is what social media fame has done, man. It's very crazy. And this is really a social media thing, not an OnlyFans thing, because if social media didn't exist, neither would OnlyFans, because it's a social media app, basically, for simps to follow their favorite female creators, mostly female creators. So it's really social media that's created the bigger problem, but OnlyFans is one of the worst symptoms of this problem. If you're tired of being addicted and chasing your bad habits, listen up. I spent decades playing video games, eating junk food, and procrastinating as much as possible on my goals. That was until I discovered the power of visualization and hypnosis. Since then, I've gotten shredded, 3x'd my income, and smashed through my goals with ease. If you're looking to drastically improve your habits this year, make more money, and build your dream body, click the link in the description and schedule a free strategy session. Now, back to the video.
If a girl goes viral and she just happens to be attractive, the first thing that dudes are gonna say is to make an OnlyFans. It's the weirdest thing ever. For example, do y'all remember the Home Depot girl? For y'all that don't know, there's basically this girl who went viral on Twitter because she was attractive and she worked at Home Depot. And the first thing that dudes were telling her to do once they saw her was to make an OnlyFans. Like, peep some of these comments. Hear me out. OnlyFans and you equals rich. If you want to make an OnlyFans, real niggas wouldn't judge you. When OF? You're telling me.
And those are the men who need to be shamed. Those are the men who need to be shamed. We need to start making fun of them and calling them creepy the same way we would call a 45-year-old man who's trying to date a 16-year-old creepy or an 18-year-old creepy. We call them creepy. But when they're behind a screen trying to watch videos, they're not creepy. And that's the disconnect, which I think is the only chance to stop this problem. The simps, it has to be stopped with the simps.
Me that you see an attractive woman online and your first thought is she should make an OnlyFans, like, I just find that insane. And honestly, I salute this woman to the fullest because at the end of the day, she chose her morals over money. She could have made life-changing bands off of OnlyFans, but she just chose to stick with her normal job and just create IG reels and make YouTube videos when the whole world was telling her to create an OnlyFans. Like, that is hard to do in a world where OnlyFans girls be having Lambos and just regular working women have Toyota Priuses. Like, that is a hard task, and this actually happens to a lot of women that create content because,
and that's the moral standard now, by the way, is a woman decides not to be a porn star and now she's morally just. She's a good woman. She's a good woman because she didn't become a porn star.
if you look at their comment section on like IG Reels or maybe TikTok, or maybe even like if a girl is doing a YouTube Q&A, the first question that a lot of dudes are gonna ask is if that girl is gonna make it OnlyFans. Like, bro, it's crazy because if you do have an OnlyFans nowadays, people are gonna tell you to find God, but if you don't have one, people are gonna beg you to make one. Like, it's a lose-lose situation. Another reason why I think OnlyFans made the internet even worse for women is because it also completely ruined Linktree / just women having links in their bio. Like, y'all know how on Instagram, people usually will have like a link in their bio, and that link will take you to maybe like a YouTube, Twitch, or maybe even like a clothing brand. Well, it's gotten to the point where if a woman has a link tree in her bio, the first assumption that a lot of dudes are gonna make, even myself, is that that girl probably has an OnlyFans. When in reality, that girl could just have like a Twitch link in that link tree, right? But since these OF girls are running so rampant nowadays and you can see them everywhere, every dude is gonna automatically assume that any girl with a link in her bio has an OnlyFans.
Well, in fairness, though, when you see a link tree, most of the time, that's what you're seeing. That's what it is. Most of the time, if we're being honest. So it's unfair, but it's it's what people are going to assume. That's what's happened, and I'm sure Linktree is very aware of that. Um, link trees were banned on Twitter for a while for that exact reason. So even social media apps themselves know that it's just a OF funnel, and they tried to stop it at the source.
It's sad to say, but it's true. Another reason why I think OnlyFans ruined society is because it gave people this money over morals mindset. If there's one thing that OnlyFans has taught me, it's that people are almost always going to pick that dollar over their morals on any given day. The other day, I seen this post by Ruby Rose that said, "Yo bitch got morals, I got millions." Well, excuse me, Miss.
Yeah, and this is just the way that a morally depraved society behaves. You look historically. This is what they talked about in Weimar Germany, was prostitution rampant, drug use rampant, pornography rampant, because people stop caring about morals. They stop caring about morals when they don't think there's a benefit to being righteous. They don't think there's a benefit to being morally conscious. They think, I'm just going to make a quick buck because that's what everybody's doing. Why would I do anything else? And people have fallen for it. Everybody may fall for that at some stage or another, but you try to learn the righteous path. You don't brag about being a slime ball with no morals, scamming fans, scamming people. So it's what this society has produced, and hopefully we can shame the sense out of funding these bitches, because this shit is ridiculous.
Ruby. I never knew that having no morals was a flex. But at the same time, I don't know what I was supposed to expect from somebody that said, sometimes you have to lie about your age when it comes to NFL players. At 16 years old, she had no morals 10 years ago, and she still has no morals today. It's insane.
And that's the thing, is we won't shame her either, because that's pretty disgusting how a dude literally kind of gone to jail for the rest of his life for this girl. And she's literally making fun of it. So, very strange times we're living in, man.
Don't get me wrong, money is a really important thing in life because without money, you can't do a majority of things. But that money shouldn't matter if you don't have any morals, / if it goes against your morals. Like, not all money is good money. Yeah, that money from OnlyFans might be good, but at the same time, it comes with a greater cost, which is your dignity and future. Like, I swear, people don't even care about their digital footprints anymore. Because, bro, OnlyFans literally leaves a permanent stain on your life.
I think it's become so normalized, the OF idea. It's become so normalized, number one. Number two, there are women who are doing it. If they were, obviously men are creators on OF, but if men were the ones doing this, it would be perceived much differently than if women were, for the most part. Because if you think about it, women like Cardi B is a perfect example. She used to be a prostitute. She just reinvents herself, and now she's a rapper and media mogul and is world famous and all that. And everybody forgot about that. Everybody forgot about how she talked about she drugged men and robbed them. People just forget about it. It's not a character. It's not a mark on her character to mention that. And that's why people allow this, because women are allowed to reinvent themselves, and it's seen as empowering. Whereas a man makes one or two mistakes, he's known as that forever. He's known as that forever. You got to be very careful with your reputation as a man.
leaves a mark on your future family. And I'm telling you, once your kids find out that you did OnlyFans back in your heyday, that's gonna be a pretty odd topic to even talk about. Y'all remember when that one blonde OnlyFans girl, Elle Brooke, was on Piers Morgan, and she was basically saying how her kids are gonna cry in a Ferrari once they figure out that she did OnlyFans?
How would you feel when you want to have kids yourself?
Look at her face. It looks demonic. She clearly had some work done, but it looks masculine and demonic. Look at her eyes, soulless. That's that thousand cock stare. Stay away from women like this.
Well, I mean, I don't really want kids right now. But at
But you
least
will do. How old are you?
25.
Right, so you will do at some stage, probably, right?
Maybe.
When you do, you're going to be proud that you have your little ones and they look at you and go, didn't you want to be a lawyer, Mummy? What happened?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, but look at all my stuff.
They can cry in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen to how soulless that came off too. That is crazy. We are really at the point of consumerism where people will do anything to get that money, man. Shameful.
yeah, don't get me wrong, that Ferrari is cool and all. It's pretty fast, and I mean, it does look nice. But once your kid gets out that Ferrari and walks through those school doors, it's over for that man. It takes one kid in that school to find out you did OnlyFans. Now your son is getting his head dunked into a toilet on a Wednesday morning before PE class.
And the thing is that it's not even about other kids making fun of him. It's him knowing that that's what his mom did. What's his relationship with women going to be like for the rest of his life? That is the uncomfortable reality that they may not be considering. It doesn't have to be horrible, but to know your mom was on camera getting blasted, bruh. Getting blasted. That kid, even if no other kids find out, he may just look at women totally differently, bro. You always want to see your mom as this this very lady-like, polite, nice woman. That's how I see my mom. That's how most people want to see their mom. But your mom was getting blasted on camera, bro. That could shake his whole worldview for the rest of his life.
You're telling me that it's okay that you get clapped online, pile drive, put in a DDT, and put in the walls of Jericho, all on camera for the world to see, but it's somehow fine because you have a Ferrari? That is absolutely insane. If you thought that bullying was bad now, just wait until 20 years from now. These roast sessions are about to get brutal. That's why you're ugly and your breath stinks. That's why your mom did OnlyFans. If your mom did OnlyFans, you might as well go mute because that's the safest option. Like, these OnlyFans pictures are never gonna leave the internet. I don't think people realize that. And
Your mom, somebody could flame you with that. That's just crazy, brother.
also, just because you retire from OnlyFans, that doesn't mean that the pictures and videos retire as well. For example, do y'all remember the ex-adult film star, Mia Khalifa? The other day, she was actually on Twitter.
She's not even an ex-adult film star. She still does OF, so she's still cashing in on what she tried to denounce.
Talking about how the singer Tyla should stay away from these lil streamers because Kai Cenat and Tyla recently did a stream with each other, and when I tell you, all hell broke loose in the comment section because people just started dropping pictures of her getting clapped from like 8 years ago, dog. And that's what I mean by these pictures never really leave the internet. It doesn't matter when you retire, these pictures are always gonna be there, dog. That scene probably happened ages.
And she said in a video that she was ashamed to have done it, like that people can see her naked in public.
Traumatic stress that is in you from this experience.
Yes, and I think it kicks in mostly when I go out in public because the stares I get, I feel like people can see through my clothes, and it brings me deep shame. It makes me feel like I lost all right to my privacy, which I did because I'm one Google search away.
Yeah. And those images you cannot expunge. No. You have no right, even though it is deeply personal to you, you have no right to remove them from anybody's view around the world.
Yeah.
She said she was ashamed. So it eventually will catch up with you, whether it's at 30, 40, 50 years old. If you have kids or you don't, you will eventually realize, what did I do just for some money? The worst thing for Mia Khalifa, which is why she started doing OF, was you don't even make a lot of money in the porn industry. You literally do that for pennies. So it's even worse. A lot of the OF girls, at the very least, they can do solo content so that they're not with another man. So for what it's worth, she got probably the worst deal than most of the OF girls, but that's why she switched to OF.
Ages ago. But since it's online, that picture is now forever. And what's even sadder is that when these OnlyFans girls do try to be serious and turn their lives around, no one ever takes them seriously. Like if an OnlyFans girl tried to transition into different content, like maybe YouTube or like Twitch streaming, it wouldn't work because a lot of people are only going to see them as that girl that was getting clapped on camera. I mean, it has worked in some instances, but a majority of the time, it's not going to work at all. For example, there's this one OnlyFans girl named
And this chick is another girl who's like reinventing herself. She started to preach this Christian biblical speak after she had made millions of dollars from OF, which that's not righteous in my opinion. You made the bag, you got famous, you cashed all your chips in, and then now you want to come back and say, "No, I learned from my lessons. I'm not this way anymore." That's not how it works, fam. That's not a real. That's not righteous.
Allah, who basically stopped doing OnlyFans to pursue religion. And when I tell you, nobody took her seriously. Did she get baptized in semen? Biggest meme of all time. This is delusion at its finest. Your entire internet presence is you not choosing God. And honestly, like, even though it's messed up, these comments are messed up.
And she very well could have changed her ways. It's possible. It's possible to give her the benefit of the doubt. But why did you wait until you already had the millions first? Why did you wait? There's always going to be a question from everybody that interacts with you who knows this, that you sold your soul first, cashed all your chips in, and then you came back to reinvent yourself. That's not honorable.
I can understand why, because number one, it happened all of a sudden, and number two, she used to get clapped online, and that was her previous internet presence. Like, she went from worshiping the BBC to worshiping the Bible. Like, that's a pretty drastic change. So it makes sense to why people don't really take her serious. But that just goes to show how much of a stain OnlyFans puts on your life. You can't even convert to religion without people cooking on you and saying that you're doing it for clout or just bringing up your past. Like, it's sad, but at the end of the day, like, I can't really be mad at these people who are cooking on her, you know? All that being said, OnlyFans has done a lot of damage in today's society, and I think that OnlyFans is like the new cigarette of this generation.
Well, it's like the new cigarette in that it's one of the most popular vices, but it's actually much more insidious because cigarettes can be targeted in a way that could actually take down cigarettes in general. So that's what happened when I was younger. We used to have health class, and they would talk about how horrible cigarettes were. You would see posters in school saying "Don't smoke." How are you going to counter OnlyFans? Because there's a bunch of high school kids jacking off to OnlyFans too. How are you going to put up posters saying "Don't watch this"? Like, it's much more difficult to have a conversation in public about OF. So I would say it's even worse than cigarettes.
Hear me out, because I actually think this is like a really great analogy. At first, cigarettes were cool, trendy, and everyone was doing it because, I mean, there really was no research backing up why cigarettes were bad. Yeah, it was smoke going into your lungs, but somehow in the 1950s and 60s, that was considered healthy. But now, 60 years later, we've realized all the negative effects of smoking from all these studies we've done. And I think the exact same thing is going to happen with OnlyFans. It may seem cool, trendy, and normal now, but 40 years from now, people are going to realize how much damage OnlyFans has done to their lives.
The thing is, though, is for who is it cool? It's not cool for the Johns, for the simps. It's not cool for them. It's cool for the managers and for the girls. That's who it's cool for. But the difference is, with the cigarettes, it was cool for the end user. It was cool for the smoker to smoke. In this instance, it's the simp who's the end user. It's not cool for him. Nobody comes out and brags that they're an OnlyFans user. Nobody tries to flex that. So in 40 years from now, we'll see if there's simps, there will be OnlyFans. There will be hoes. It's just that simple. And so whether it's OF, whether it's, you know, some other website, it really doesn't matter. This is why they say prostitution is the oldest business in the world, because there was always a man who had something he was willing to give for some cheeks. Now they're just doing it virtually, which is even more lame.
I think these OnlyFans girls could even possibly go that route that a lot of these adult stars are going right now, where they're unaliving themselves because of their past mistakes, which is actually really sad to even think about. Even though I don't really support girls doing OnlyFans and adult content, it is sad to see people unalive themselves for their past mistakes. Like, it's really sad. And that's been happening to a lot of adult stars lately. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All that being said, this is gonna wrap up the video. If you guys made it this far, I appreciate you. If you guys enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend you guys check out my most recent video. It'll be right up here on the screen. All that being said, thank you guys for watching. It's Cameron, and I'm out.
Yeah. Pretty good video, man. I definitely think OF has ruined a generation, but I think it really is the bigger issue of social media. Has really ruined everything. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll see you